Hello church, I hope that you all are doing well and staying safe during this lockdown period. Some of you may know me, some of you may not, because I haven't been to church in a while. Even before lockdown, I was in lockdown myself for 12 weeks before lockdown started because I hurt my back quite badly. So I'm going to share with you what it's like to be in lockdown with a chronic illness. I know that there are many people in the church who are suffering with their health right now, and I feel like what I've experienced, I really just want to share with you guys and hope that it can encourage you. So I'm just going to apologize in advance. I currently have pneumonia, so I'm struggling to breathe quite a little bit, but I really just wanted to carry on bringing this to you. So, I am Tatum Lister. My family and I have been going to the church for about 2 years, and I have lupus and psoriatic arthritis. So, yeah, those are a lot. It's no joke having 2 chronic illnesses, but I am currently immunocompromised by 2 immunosuppressants just to keep my body at bay. And I know that there are lots of people in the church going through cancer right now and going through chemo. And I pray for you guys quite often whenever I think of when I went through chemo, how I experienced that and just the magnitude of it, and just how you can feel anxious about what's going on, especially with COVID right now. It's scary just hearing how the numbers are soaring and how we're currently heading into the peak of the cases, and I can imagine, and I'm not generally an anxious person, so for me to be anxious is a lot, and I can imagine that it is scary just to think about how you can get COVID. And for me, it hit quite close to home. Someone that my mom and I both go to work with, she tested positive for COVID, and that day for me was crazy. My heart rate peaked and I was just so anxious, just so scared that I had seen her, I'd come into contact with her, what happens if I caught COVID? And that night I came home and I turned to the back of my Bible and I went to anxious, and I literally went, okay, let me just pick a verse and go there. And then I came across this verse in Philippians 4 verse 6, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and supplication with thanksgiving let your requests be known to God, and the peace of God which surpasses all understanding will guard your hearts and mind in Christ Jesus." And then as soon as I read that, I felt convicted that I was like, no, Tatum, why are you stressing about this on your own? And then I was just like, okay. Then I pulled out my journal and I started writing to God, and I just gave him everything I was feeling, how I was scared that I got COVID, and more so that my body would not be able to fight off COVID if I did catch it. And as soon as I was just writing to God, and as soon as I finished and closed my journal, I felt this overwhelming sense of peace. And this, I was like, wow, the Bible actually does mean what it says. Not that I doubted that it did, but this really just solidified for me how the Bible brings life, and life in abundance. And after I read that, it just resonated with me how God makes our burdens light, and how we can give everything to Him and He will just make our burdens feel light. And I know that the thought of catching COVID brings great anxiety, but just give it to God and leave it with Him, and He will give you peace. And I just want to close with one of my favorite verses. It says, "For I consider that the suffering of this present time is nothing worth comparing to the glory that is to come." And for me, my favorite thing is to think about how one day when we get to heaven, how I'm going to have a new body that isn't sick, that isn't broken. And I just pray that this encourages you guys, and thank you, church.